don't smoke crack, motherfucker, I sell it.
What is going on, everybody? This is the Miscellaneous Minds Podcast. I'm your co-host, Boom and God to the Cat, the hands of your tune-up right back. And to my left over is the main man, Jesus De Niro, the man that makes the fat stacks. Together we form the dynamic duo that won't die. Deadly ideas, brother, the spicier content than your girls' only fans.
What is going on, everybody? Before we get into tonight's topic, please make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit. And with that, let's get right into it. So I recently saw a little bit of news that Devin Haney is going to be getting back in the ring, likely in March. He has decided to go with the platform BLK Prime. And he's taking more than likely what is going to be a tune-up fight. Now, listen, I have no problem with the tune-up fight, especially when you're coming off a loss. Whether Haney wants to believe it or not, that was a loss. And again, I'm not going to get into the whole Ryan Garcia thing. I think he's an idiot as well. Let's move past all that. I have no problem with fighters taking a tune-up fight, especially when they're coming back from a loss. And there's nothing wrong with that. I see nothing wrong with what Haney's doing. In fact, I understand he's getting paid handsomely for this tune-up fight. Great. No problem at all. This is the problem that I have with it. I've seen a number of people that are rooting for Haney in this comeback fight. A number of boxing fans, a number of hypocrites, basically saying, yay, Haney's getting paid and he's, fighting a tune-up. Nothing wrong with that. I've seen those same exact people hate on Canelo for taking a fight with potentially a William Scully, which, again, would be likely that akin to a tune-up fight. I have no problem with that. And a lot of people are mad, he shouldn't be getting paid all this money because he's getting this tune-up fight with William Scully to essentially become 2 times undisputed. And again, listen, I have no problem with anybody. Devin Haney, Canelo, David Benavidez, whoever you want to pick, taking a tune-up fight, even after maybe a tough fight, taking a tune-up fight. I have no problem with it at all. I'm just seeing a little bit of hypocrisy here with people that are saying perfectly okay for Devin Haney to do, even though I think we would all agree Devin Haney doesn't have the same accolades than does a Canelo with not just what he's accomplished, but who he's fought. By a large number, Canelo has fought way better competition than would a Devin Haney. Much bigger names, so on and so forth, has ruled the game as the face of boxing for quite a long time. So if you're saying it's more than okay for a Devin Haney to do it, why is it not okay for a Canelo? And some people will say, hey, you know what? That's not a fair comparison, my man. That's not right for that to be the case. And I say, okay. If you think that Devin Haney and Canelo is not a fair comparison, let's even the money-making aspect a little bit more fair. If you guys will recall, one of Mayweather's last fight, if not the last fight, was against a fighter who had a 0-0 record in boxing. Who are we talking about here? We're talking about McGregor. Now, some people will say, McGregor has a lot of fighting experience and, striking and UFC and blah, 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 blah. You mean to tell me that you really thought that fight between him and McGregor was really an equal fight amongst 2 individuals? Wrong. Again, hypocrisy. Again, listen, I don't care if boxers, especially after a loss and or a tough win against a tough opponent, want to take a fight in between that. No problem at all. But keep the damn lines of equality equal. Because I see a lot of hypocrisy being thrown around the boxing arena from the Timothy Bradleys, from the Teddy Atlases, from the so on and so forth. Basically saying, okay here, but not okay here. Basically when they don't like them. And listen, go back 1 year. Go back 1 year and you will see that we were singing the praises of Devin Haney. Before he fought Ryan Garcia, I had put my hand saying, I think Devin Haney's going to win. We praised Haney. I praised Bill Haney for the way he was handling his son's career. I made a number of goodwill gestures towards the Haney family saying, I think they're great. I think they're a phenomenal team. I think they're handling career as best they should, so on and so on and so forth. So again, you just got to go back a little bit over a year. But let's be honest. This past year, ever since the Ryan Garcia loss, the Haney family has done some F shit. They have. Let's keep it a buck. And that's why slowly, I've been moving myself out of the Haney camp. Because again, listen, I have no problem if a fight. I honestly didn't have a problem with Haney taking that loss against Ryan, even if it looked pretty bad. No problem with it. It happens. Maybe just Devin had a bad night. Ryan had a great night. It's happened plenty of times in boxing. I think he could have came back and probably could have done great, but then he went on this tour of BS. He went on this tour of lawsuits and getting people suspended and blah, blah. And listen, that's fine if you want to do that, but just know everything in life comes with consequences, as does this. Again, nobody's going to forget the beatdown that happened. You can try and erase it. You can ask the Zone to remove it from YouTube. You can ask committees to overturn, blah, 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 but it's the only way you're going to erase it, truly, Devin, is if you go back and you fight the man. But I digress. The point of this is like, listen, let's hold all boxers to the same standard. If you want and are okay with Devin Haney taking a tune-up fight, which I'm perfectly okay with, you should be more than okay with Canelo taking a tune-up and or an easy fight. And if you said to yourself, hey man, Canelo's been taking a lot of tune-up fights, you know what? I will agree with you to a degree. Because many people, even the haters such as the Teddy Atlases and the Timothy Bradleys of the world said, look, listen, man, the man, Canelo, has etched his name in stone in boxing history. If he wants a farewell tour, make it easy on himself, who are we to judge? You mean to tell me if you guys were on your last, we'll call it 2 years, 3 years of your job, whatever your job is, you wouldn't be taking it easy knowing you can see retirement, knowing you could see you're about to cross the finish line? If anything, there should be more onus against Devin Haney. Devin Haney's still a young guy. So listen, again, I see a lot of people holding the Canelos of the world to a different standard than they do the Mayweathers of the world, the Devin Haneys of the world, and so on. Let's keep it a buck and let's make sure that we hold that same energy across the board, because if I am okay with Devin doing it, I am okay with Canelo doing it. If I'm okay with Canelo doing it, I'm okay with Devin doing it. What do you think about that, my man?
Listen, man, tune-up fights are definitely a necessary evil, especially in the world of boxing, especially for high-level competitors. Again, if you want to sort of practice your in-ring abilities, whether they're overall, they're striking, whatever, and you want to take a tune-up fight on a high level to try and see if you're going to be still at that level. Again, trying to take one fight before you take on an even bigger fight, and you want to not quite fight them yet, but you still want to take on a high-level competition. That's fine, but there's a double-edged sword with that. You potentially sort of alienate your audiences if you do that way too much. And again, I can kind of see the argument for the Canelo one because he's taken 2 of them in the fights with Edgar Berlanga and Jaime Munguia. That's fine. 2, because they're tune-up fights, more often than not, boxers kind of take them not nearly as seriously as they would a high-level competition fight, maybe a big hyped event. And again, they sort of take it easy. And in that sense, you kind of put yourself, as a boxer, if you're taking a tune-up fight, you kind of put yourself as a risk of people kind of doubting your abilities, especially if something big happens, like, let's say, the controversial UD win that Terence Crawford had against Israel Madrimov. Terence Crawford didn't look that great in that fight. Let's be honest, Israel Madrimov, I don't want to say he's a nothing fighter, but he definitely came out of nowhere. At least nowhere near to an extent where people had a lot of respect for him or even saw him as a formidable fighter on the level of such a Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford did win, again, by unanimous decision, so give him credit where credit is due. But a lot of people said, yeah, he won, but not convincingly so. And again, if you're in the sense that you want to be on your farewell tour, hop on your bike, get on your last couple fights and just take it easy, kick up your feet, relax, and basically make a couple million, that's fine. But again, you kind of alienate more and more people by basically revealing, like, yeah, I'm not really taking these fights seriously. We're just kind of just on our bike here. Again, you look at all of the what do you want to call it? Spectacle fights that Floyd Mayweather has been doing with the last couple fights, whereas he's like kind of fighting, but not really. They're kind of more like stuff that you'd see at a friggin' at a carnival in like the 1800s, where it's like, yeah, you're boxing, but you're not really boxing anybody of no. You're kind of just doing it for the spectacle. And even then, more and more, your worth has been kind of diminishing as of late. You don't really see people tuning into a Floyd Mayweather fight nowadays because now they kind of know, like, okay, yeah, he's not taking the fight seriously, and he's fighting against people that, by any metric, respectable, he's gonna win. Like, you already know it's gonna be a Floyd Mayweather win. And again, it's not even worth anything because we know for a fact that A, he's doing this for the money, and B, he's not taking these fights seriously. And that's fine. If you want to take a tune-up fight, that's fine. Just A, don't make too much of a spectacle of it. B, let's call it what it is. It's a warm-up to a main event that's going to be in the future. But that's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. Just don't make too much of a habit of it. And again, take it almost as seriously as you would a real fight. If you're expecting to win, fine. Do that. But don't be so complacent that something bad can happen. Again, like the Terence Crawford thing blowing up in his face a little bit with that UD win against Madrimov. Yeah, you won, but you didn't look great.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I don't care what you want to do. Listen, especially if you're on your way out of the game, I completely understand why Terrence Crawford would want to fight a Canelo, get that big bag before he makes his way out. Nothing wrong with that. He wants to take care of his family, take care of his people. Completely understand why he would want a big bag, and I support him trying to get that big bag. That being said, keep the same energy across the board. If you want to let Devin Haney take tune-ups for big money, cool. Also be cool with Canelo taking tune-up fights for big money. It is what it is. Stop being hypocrites out there to all you boxing fans. And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you in the next one.